3, 2, 1, go. And it'll be like, I swear you haven't been able to see my hand. How did you know I had this card? He's like, well, you would have played this card then if you had this one, but you didn't play this over here. And this spades have already been played, so you can't have that one. And it's like, how, dude? How did you keep track of all of this? I don't get it. So when we play cards in my family, there's always a bit of a debate between, do we play one that like you can get an advantage in by thinking, like hearts, which I find more fun, but then my dad always wins. Or do we play something completely luck-based like Uno or Crazy Eights, which is usually my mom and my brother's side of the argument, where it's like, well, then we all actually have a chance. So definitely a mix of both. We tend to lean more on completely random card game sides. There's another one called Golf that we like to play, just anything that's super random, then our whole family has a chance. It's a toss-up who's gonna win. If we play hearts, anything in that genre, my dad wins. Just every time. That's how it works. I still have fun though. I like the thinking card games a bit. Okay, looking for a good one too. Not until you learn how to read. Anyway, that is somewhat of a skill that you should work on. Definitely would recommend practicing that one, even if you're not planning on going to Las Vegas and gambling. Like, you may just want to consider that one for life. Now I'm thinking of like other dumb YouTube things. There was a great little like YouTube, what is it, video series called ASDF Movie. I think they have like 10 of them or something. But one of them is just a guy looking down at a book and he looks up and goes, "Haha, I can't read." And it's just done so well. The comedic timing is on point. Like, just thinking about it makes me laugh. That's what I'm picturing in my head when you said that one. Based dad. You want to do that to your kids? Dude, Peloxy, not everything has to be cringed, bro. Like, oh my goodness. You are in love with that word. I'm curious if it's like half your vocabulary. Oh man, yeah. I have a very awesome dad. I like my dad a lot. He's a really, really supportive guy. Definitely took care of my family growing up and everything. Like, he's amazing. Very much so. He like he wasn't able to watch my speedrun live. I think I've talked about this before. He wasn't able to watch my speedrun live because of the, you know, when he was at work and everything. But he went and watched the marathon run afterward, and he took notes on it. Like, he had 8 post-it notes that he sent me a picture of with his handwritten notes on the run so he could talk to me about it afterward, which is like the darn cutest thing ever. Like, my favorite ones on there were like, he asked, like, he just had F in chat ? Like, what did that mean? So I had to explain why I said F in chat for Yoshi on 15.1. And then I hadn't even noticed this. One of the things I did as part of my commentary is I joked and I built up 10.1 as like this mind-blowing level of wild, you know, craziness because we're going left in a Mario game. Like, I really tried to play that up. I completely forgot that in 18.4 you also go left. So my dad had just written left ? For 18.4. Like, why didn't that one matter? Like, you did this whole deal about left earlier. Why didn't you bring it up then? And I was like, that's actually an excellent point. I had not considered that. So now I'm debating if I'm going to bring that up when I do my next run, but I thought that was really cute. So yeah, I got a nice dad. Lucked out on the dad lottery for sure. Oh. This assumes that you get kids, which is like somewhat possible. I mean, there's lots of opportunities, right? Like, obviously you can always adopt. That's always a really cool thing you can do. You can find someone that you want to have kids with and do that whole deal. Like, having kids is, I think, cool. It's definitely something that I would like to do for me, but it's not something that everyone's interested in. That's also perfectly fine. Like, you don't have to have kids. That's a lot of responsibility. Have you seen parents? They've got a lot of work to do. I think especially during the pandemic, when you're working with people, I didn't kill that Goomba. That took me like 20 tries on my pacifist run, and I just cleanly get it here. When work from home initially started at the beginning of the pandemic, it was really interesting to listen in on conversations that parents were having with their kids, because their kids don't really respect their boundaries right away, where they see their parents at home and they're like, so you can play with me now, and the parent's like, I'm in a meeting, I can't do that. So you'll be having, like, I would have conversations with my dev lead where we're going back and forth on a design for an upcoming feature, and then suddenly you just hear like, Dad, it's out of batteries, and like, poor dev lead has to like go, I'm sorry, I'll be right back, and like go deal with the battery situation to make sure their kid has their Game Boy running or whatever. Like, it was cute, but like also sounded like a lot. There was definitely struggles of like being alone in the pandemic and not having any family around to deal with, but there's definitely a set of struggles that people with children had to go through to like keep them safe. Children, of course, don't always fully understand, like, why do I suddenly need to wear a mask everywhere? This is uncomfortable. Why are you making me do this? Whereas obviously, like, just me, I can wear a mask. Like, it's not a problem. I don't have to explain it to anyone. My bunnies don't need to wear masks, so we're good there, right? But yeah, long story short, kids are not for everyone. I think it's cool when people have kids. I think it's sad when people have kids but don't take care of them very well, so everyone's decision. Everyone gets their own choice. He's a good dad. Good dads do exist. Unfortunately, bad dads also exist, and that's why parenting is probably not best for everyone. And it's not good if people feel like they're forced into having children, because then if you're forced into doing something, you're not going to do your best at it. And I think kids deserve parents who are trying their best and doing everything they can. So both my parents, honestly, were. It makes it sound like they're gone. They're amazing. They're both really supportive. Like, even though they don't really understand why I like speedrunning or like why this is super cool, they know that it makes me happy. They know that I'm excited about it, and therefore they're excited for me. They're supportive when I talk to them about it. They'll ask me like, did that other guy take back that record yet? Like, when are you gonna get it back? It's like, I'm working on it. So it's really cute. I'm very fortunate with my family. That level is also a remake from SMB3. I think someone said that in chat. 2.2 definitely is. 18.4 I don't think is, but 2.2, if that's the one you were talking about, is 100% from SMB3. I actually recently was watching 100% runs of SMB3, and I tried to write down all the level numbers just so I could like actually talk about what levels these came from, because I think there was a level later on that I didn't realize was actually from SMB3, so I was trying to make sure I wasn't missing any other ones. But yes, the pyramid level, definitely. It's from the Sand World in SMB3. I don't remember which number it is off the top of my head, but I do have it written down somewhere. There we go. That's what I've been trying to do all day. Let's go. I haven't gotten that at all today. I've gotten past 2-4 a couple times, but with backup strats, not with the full P-switch jump that I was going for, so that feels good. Should be a decent world too then. Get my little rainbows. Whee. There we go. Now that I'm going for that every time, like, it just takes a little longer. The one where you go left. Oh yeah, 10-1. Sorry, yeah, 10-1 is definitely from that game as well. Let me get my split real quick. Yeah, 10-1 is also from SMB3. It's from the world where you get the Karibo boot, like that boot for the first time. Super fun world. That was my favorite world in SMB3. But yes, that is also a copy one. You're charging your phone with your Switch controller? Dude, how? With like your Switch charger, not the controller? Because I think the Switch port is like a common charging port, so you can use the charger for other things, but charging with your controller would be definitely interested. What pyramid? So 2.2 is a pyramid level in this game, and it's from SMB3. It's a copy level. And then as well, 10.1, the one where you go left with all the spinies and death, that's also from SMB3, and it's from the world where you get the boot in SMB3. SMB3, I was sad how little time you got with the boot, so it's cool that that's one of the levels that's repeated in this game. Like I said, I did write it down. I don't think I'll be able to pull it up right now what numbers those correspond to. Where there a pyramid where you go left? There's not a level where there's a pyramid and you go left. So you go left in 10.1 and 18.4 during the midsections of those levels, the subworlds. And then 2.2 is the one with the pyramids that I was talking about. So 2.2 has the pyramids. That's the one where we get the leaf and go get the P-switch at the top of the stage to avoid having to use the shell to clear out the blocks at the pipe. That one's from SMB3. SMB3 speedrunning does not get the leaf, by the way. It just goes straight for the shell strats. And that's the one where I think a couple weeks ago I was talking about how in that game you can get a fast shell and you want that shell to be fast. And so I'm curious if that affects our game as well, since this is the same level but definitely a different set of mechanics. And then 10.1 you go left in, and that's also a copy from SMB3, but that's the one where it's all the spinies and insta-death, and you're supposed to get a boot when you're playing it casually to get through that one. And then there's 18.4, which is not a copy from SMB3. I just forgot what my strat was there, so now I'm going to go slow so I don't die to that thing. I almost still died to it. That was fun. 18.4 is not copied. This is a mess. Not copied from any other game, but you do go left in the subworld, just like you do in 10.1. Maybe that catches everything up. Ta-da! Yesterday you were playing some SMB3 and you recognized that. Well, yeah, you'll see a couple other ones if you go all the way through the game. There's like 5 at least, I think. Even 15-2 is the airship level from that game. Or not airship, the Air Force level in the Dark World from that game. That's the other one off the top of my head that I know is shared. And actually 4-1 is 1-1 from that game as well. So there's 4 off the top of my head there that I can tell you, and maybe one more that I'm forgetting. Yeah, the other one is, I can't think of the number right now, and I'm in a level where I can't look at my notes. But it's the one where you get the POW at the beginning, and there's all the pipes, and you don't want to fall down in that one really long jump where you have to do a water section. Like, that one's also a copy level from the game. I just don't remember the number right now. But that brings me to 5. I don't know if there's a 6th, but I know there's then at least 5 levels. High fire pattern, that was mean. Oh, great, more mean fire. I'm just gonna, okay. I thought I was gonna lose my mushroom. I didn't think I was getting past that, but we're fine. Bonus mushroom, 1,000 extra points. Take that high score run. Woo. Has no actual effect on the speedrun. Okay. Man already impersonating Pelosi with the cringe statement. You go left to go into the pipe for half a second? Oh, really, Juice? Really? Yeah. Okay, you go left for half a second. I'm talking about levels where like a significant chunk of the level is going left. I'm not talking about basic navigation. I'm not talking about like in 13.1, which you're just looking at, you jump left across the wall. Like, come on, dude. 9-7, yeah, thank you. 9-7 is the other one where, yeah. 9-7 is the one I was talking about with the pipes in the water section if you screw it up and the POW at the start. That one's also apparently from SMB3. That's the one I didn't know was from SMB3 for a very long time, but here's the first level in the game that's from or this one's weird because it's not the first level in this game. Haha, backups. But it is the first level in SMB3, I believe. So, this one is also a share. Theft? I don't think that's a word, but that's okay. It can be a word if you believe enough. There was a book we had to read as a kid called Friendle, and it was basically the story of someone who made up another word for pen. They just started calling it Friendle, and they managed to get enough people to catch on that it became a national story, and then everyone started calling pens Friendles. And it was just a very odd story. I don't really know why that was one of our required reading stories. I think it was like, oh, a kid's making a difference because a kid came up with the name and the teacher didn't like it, but then the kid managed to change everyone's mind. I don't know. But just the fact that Friendle as a word for pen exists has stuck with me, so that's what I think of when I think of people making up new words. Not a particularly useful example, but you know, there it is. So if you ever want to just be really obnoxious, you can call a pen a Friendle and go, no, I found it in a Children's Choice Award book. Or like, I don't know if it was the Newbery or Children's Choice, but it got some award and that's why we're reading it and whatever. But you can call a pen a Friendle and a few people who happen to have also read that book will know what you mean. Not useful, but fun fact, in case you're curious. Oh. Oh, Obamium armor? I don't know what you're going for there. Oh, you read that book too? Right, yeah, elementary school. It's not like a high-level reading book, but it's cool that I wasn't the only one who read it. It's one of those things where we read a lot of books as kids, right? It's not like that was the only book we read, but for some reason, that one I just remember better than most of our other books. Because I know we must have read at least 5 or 6 a year for school, but that one sticks in my head. One of my favorite books we read for school was one called Camp X, which was about a bunch of kids secretly finding a German spy camp in like the US during a war, and that was just fun. It wasn't good, wasn't literary, but like there was action in it. It was kind of cool, so remember that one too. Alright, can I get the jumps this time? That was much smoother. So I messed up the Crusher Room that time, but I did get that trick, which is the other one I've been practicing. That's how Pelosi does the level, or at least Pelosi does the level. And I'm not going to get this one. Pelosi does the level a lot closer to that than what I was doing. Did I make it? I made it! So I got a good back up there where I didn't have to spin down. If I don't get my original strat, I take a much more risky bounce off of the donut to get the ending. Again, I'm back to narrating exactly how this level works in weird, obscure detail about my specific strats that no one else may be able to follow, but that's okay. There it is. Now you know. Okay. Oh, hi, Tommy. Now this information will be in my head until I die. I apologize for taking up room in your head because this is probably not the most useful thing for you to have there. You now have a clip of me saying that? Was there a reason you needed that, dude? Why not just take clips of me saying bunnies? That's like a word I actually say all the time. Bunnies are awesome. Did you know that? Whee. This level is not very bunny-like. I do have a stuffed animal rabbit that's a bunny and a ballerina, which I creatively called Ballerina Bunny as a kid. So that's kind of relevant to this level, because this level always reminds me of ballet with how much it's just twirling. But I don't actually have a bunny for this level. I wonder... So I have a lot of stuffed animal rabbits. That's like a thing I collect. I wonder if I could find a rabbit for every single level of this game. I can already picture which one I would use for 13-2, because 13-2 is the escort mission, and I have a bunny that just carries around a basket, and that would definitely be the right one for that. Oh, we're dead even on time. Look at that, 0.0. In school, you'd only read Captain Underpants. Captain Underpants is awesome, though. Like, that's definitely a great series. I love that one. I'm gonna be like 80 years old, like, Dorothy, can you get me a frontal? That would be amazing. Like a secret code. Everyone around you is confused and they think it's like some cool old-timey word, and it's like, nah, this is a random made-up word from a kid's book. So Captain Underpants, though, excellent series. My brother and I both loved that one as kids. It was so cheesy, but that book, it was like kind of a comic book, kind of like actual reading. But at some point they would always have a section, and it was, I think, called Flip-O-Rama, where basically you would just flip the page back and forth really fast to do like a 2-frame flipbook animation. And they were always really dumb, but it was super fun. It was like always near the end of the book, near the climax, action was happening, giant robots wearing underpants were getting beat up, like, you know, good times. So definitely a fun kids series. I think the author still writes, Dave Pilkey. I think he does like a Super Dog book now, though. I don't know if he's doing too much with Captain Underpants anymore. We got a lot of Captain Underpants books, though. It's not like we're running short on that series. Make a bunny level in Mario Maker? Dude, I should. Try to think of how you do that. Like, would you just make pixel art bunny, or would you make it so you just had to keep bouncing? Like, tons of trampolines everywhere. You'd probably go for more of a bouncy angle, right? Where, like, you try to emulate being a bunny rather than just having bunny art. I guess you could do both. Have bunny art and a level around it. That's an excellent level idea. I will actually have to try that. When I made a puzzle game for college one time, I made a game that was puzzle that was just entirely about a bunny collecting carrots, but we did a different game that was multiplayer, and one of the levels was literally just the shape of like the outline of a rabbit, and then I figured out how to put a multiplayer puzzle inside of that, but I was like, there must be a rabbit level. There must be, so I had to figure it out. So it was called Flip-O-Rama. Yeah, I love that one. You have a stuffed gloomy bunny from Taito, but I hide it in my closet because it scares me. Oh no. I'm sorry. Bunnies can be scary. Like, it's definitely possible to hit that unsettling point between cute and creepy for rabbits in particular, I think. Like, teddy bears definitely work for that too. Maybe I'm just listing FNAF characters at this point, but yeah, it's definitely possible to get creepy bunnies. Like, one of my favorite pieces of rabbit media, which is like not really a thing, is a dance that was performed on a show called So You Think You Can Dance. And the name of the dance was, I don't remember what it was actually, but the point of it was that it was an homage, or it was in memory of all of the rabbits lost at the hands of incompetent magicians, which is like freaking tragic. But the dance was so creepy. The music is haunting. It's like people running around with these like absolutely like awkward, like, I don't know, uncomfortable looking bunny masks doing like eerie dance moves. It's so beautiful and amazing, but like, yeah, bunnies can definitely fall into creepy. I feel like generally hares lean on more of the creepy witchy side, and like bunnies and rabbits lean more on the cute side, but can definitely overlap between those two. Animation of the book is still genius. I thought those were really fun. Like, it was a cool way for especially a kid's book to be really engaging. I wouldn't mind it, I guess, in any of my like more grown-up books too. Just like reading a random action story and then suddenly you get to see the hero climbing down the vent and avoiding like the rocket launch at the last minute. I'd be down for that in my like, you know, action novels. Why not? Toss a little bit in there, see what happens. Alright. Hi, Spiny. Bye, Spiny. No, midair to Pelosi. I'm not doing the midair, bro. One day I will get to that, but it turns out if I have never, like literally never practiced something, I probably shouldn't put it in my run. Especially if not only have I not practiced that trick in context, but I've never done a mid-air shell jump in my life. Maybe I've done it once for the lulz. I don't know if I've actually never done it for sure, but yeah, I have no idea what that timing's supposed to be, even outside of that level. So how about we just chill for a bit and do that some other time? Maybe not right now. Cringe. Oh my goodness, dude. At this point, cringe is just white noise, you know? Gold split, what's up? Not by much, but like, that's cool. I'll take a gold. Can you imagine not going for insanely hard 1 second time saves? What a scam. I know, right? I'm surprised anyone's still watching me, given clearly how my level of play is just dropping time left and right. I can't even. It's frankly embarrassing. I should probably just quit out of the entire game, give up on speedrunning as a whole, go start a life as a farmer so I don't have anything to do with the internet, because at this point I'm pretty sure that's how much of an embarrassment I am to the internet, is that I should just leave, go to Nebraska, farm corn for the rest of my life. I don't actually know if they grow corn in Nebraska. That was just the first like generic farm produce I could think of. I know they farm corn in Minnesota, but I've never... Actually, have I been to Nebraska? I don't know if I've even been to Nebraska. Possibly. If we did, it was just to drive through. I don't think I've, like, visited Nebraska for any reason. That was also just the first generic place that sounded out of the way I could think of. So I apologize if anyone is watching from Nebraska. I'm sure Nebraska is beautiful. The mid-air is something I doubt I'll ever do in this run. Sorry to scam you, Peloxy. Lols. This year 5-3 was actually good, dude. I know. Oh, well. Good thing we're doing the backup strat. Because the backup strat shouldn't change based on any mistakes early in the level, whereas my strat might. I don't remember exactly how precise the setup ends up getting, because whether or not a mistake at the beginning of a level affects your timing later entirely depends on when the enemies load in, and I don't remember where the crucial enemies for the start load in on my strat, so just don't screw up, I guess is the short answer. 148.00. Yo, you're right! My summon best is down! Look at that! 148.00 flat. I'm almost at that 147 summon best. That's gonna be pretty cool. There we go. Mario did not want to get... Come on, dude. Mario did not want to get to the right side of that donut block for a while, and it's like, I need you over there. I need you to be on that side. That's where you're supposed to be. Oh, boy. Alright. Got my shelmet. We're back to the bouncy section. Any bots want to show up? This is the time for bots. So if you're a bot and you wanted to post a trashy link, this is the time to do it. This is your best chance. So feel free. Just know that I'll ban you afterward. Just in case any bots are out there listening, you know, as bots tend to do. Oh boy. Maybe this is a sign that I need more sleep if I'm talking to bots that don't exist. Sad times. I've been like doing mildly okay on sleep. Oh no, I wanted to get to the top section. I didn't even get the extra life on the bottom section. I'm so sad. Might as well restart. Okay. The big question is, do I get the checkpoint? I feel like probably. Probably not. No, I don't know. Any thoughts in chat? Should I get the checkpoint? I don't know why I'm turning this into a crowd control run. That's not really the most useful thing to do. So just here's where I was talking about where you don't let any of these drop if you're doing it optimally. Oh, come on, get in here. No checkpoint, anti-checkpoint gang. Alright, we'll try no checkpoint, but if I die, I'm blaming Juice. I won't actually blame Juice. Because if I die, it's my own fault. But we'll try no checkpoint this time. For the marathon, I definitely will get checkpoint, because a marathon, you can't reset. Whereas the entire point of skipping the checkpoint here is assuming that I would reset if I died, which is probably true, because this level is awful. Like, unless I died by now, it would already be too much time loss. Because auto-scroller and platform scroller, the worst combination of everything ever. That's one of the reasons this level is so annoying to me. Like, not only is it just donut blocks everywhere, but it's an auto-scroller and a platform scroller, which just, like, makes everything miserable. Why would you combine the two worst types of levels into a single Grandmaster awful level and then throw donut blocks in there just because why not? I swear, they let Bowser design this level. Like, for the most part, Bowser isn't great at level design because Mario can always make it to the castle, and you'd think if Bowser would want to win, he'd put more impossible stuff in here. but I'm convinced Bowser did design this level specifically to get Mario to give up on rescuing the princess forever. Like, if there's ever a level that would make Mario completely rage quit rescuing Peach, this has got to be it. Like, I don't think there's another level that more effectively annoys the heck out of you than this one. That's my official statement. All right, no checkpoint. Was a good call. We gained half a second over my normal time, and I did not die, so that's the entire point of this. Corn is Nebraska's main export? Okay, so I at least half guessed correct with my random out-of-nowhere Nebraska corn reference. If you can't do leaders, you don't deserve to run this game. Dang. There goes our entire leaderboard. Unironically, when I started running this game, I was pretty anxious about the fact that I don't really do Kaizo Mario, and I was actually legitimately worried people were going to judge me if I couldn't do, like, Kaizo tricks. But this run is so friendly, even if you don't like Kaizo, because one, it turns out it's not actually that hard to learn things like spring jumps, and two, you can do this entire run pretty optimally without having to do a single Kaizo trick, so that's pretty chill. Look at that time save. Some of that was that checkpoint right there. Right there, I guess, for the stream screen. But yeah, thankfully, not an issue. There's a line in a song by Earl Sweetheart and Mac Miller where Mac says, your raps are as corny as Nebraska? Lol, that's awesome. That's a good line. I feel like I should remember that line if I ever need it. What was the last rap I saw was actually in the new Space Jam movie. I guess technically I did watch Lil Nas X's new video, but like the last one I saw where people were like actively trying to diss each other was Porky Pig's rap in the new Space Jam movie. Because in case you hadn't heard, Porky Pig legit has a rap verse in the new Space Jam movie. Now, I would not say that the new Space Jam movie was particularly good, but as someone who likes Bugs Bunny and Lola Rabbit, and also just liked the original Space Jam, I still had fun. So, yeah. The hardest part of the movie for me wasn't even just like the bad parts of the movie, it was how badly they represented certain technology. Like, as someone who works on the cloud and who understands how technology works, there's certain moments in the movie where you're just taken out of it like, that is the dumbest made-up technology thing ever, and there's no way in hell that's how it works. Which, if you're not a computer science major, won't bother you at all, so that doesn't matter in the movie. But if you are, or have ever worked on, like, any sort of coding project, then there's a part at the beginning where this guy loses a bunch of progress on something, and, like, that's realistic, but the way in which it happens is just so stupid that it's like, really? And it's a setup for later in the movie, so I get why they had to do it that way, but, like, ouch. Not realistic. Like, the part of the movie that I found the least believable was some of the coding talk, and not the fact that Bugs Bunny was playing basketball for a second time. Like, that part I was chill with. The sun coding stuff was like, nah, that's not how it works. Oh well. Maybe it's because I'm more willing to overlook. Like, I'm used to turning off my brain that says cartoons aren't real to enjoy cartoons. I'm not used to turning off the part of my brain that tells me how code works. Oh well. Alright, back to this level. I do want this one. There we go. I like overroute stuff all the time, which you probably know if you've watched me before, but I know how many, oh, see now I have to do backups though because I messed up. I keep track of bullet bills. And I know at what point in the stage I stop knocking the bullet bills out and go for the ending. And I completely screwed up the ending because I didn't get my jump off, but that's why I was looking at the bullet bills and going, yes, I get these ones, and then no, I don't get the next set. So, there you go. Oh. You got 427, 428 pipes optimally. You can blame me. Which level? I'm sorry, I'm a little too far behind to keep track. For which pipes? In which level? There are, as it turns out, many levels in this game that involve pipes. I know that's shocking for a Mario game, but as you can see from even this level has pipes. Now, you know, we don't use the pipes in this level, but they're there. They are still visually on screen. Like, you can blame me for that, the checkpoint skip? Like, if you die in this level, the run is probably dead anyway. Exactly, right? That's kind of the logic for it. So for races and marathons, I'll get more checkpoints, especially 6-3, just because that's a huge time loss if you haven't gotten it, but for a run, it's in the category of, yeah, it would make sense to stop going for it. It doesn't really help. What about autoscroller level non-autoscroller as a category extension? Kind of makes it hard to verify. Are you talking about... I mean, I've thought for a while about whether or not we'd want to do a category that is this category, but just the good levels, and basically dropping auto and platform scrollers from the game. would definitely make it a lot shorter and more approachable. I don't know if that's what you're thinking about as well. Be curious what you're suggesting for that one. But yeah, I've at least thought about what would happen if we made a category that went out of level select instead of Mario Challenge mode itself and dropped like 14.4, even just 14.4 and 6.3 in themselves save a ton of time and leaving everything else. But curious what you think. Editing an auto-scroll level and removing the auto-scroller itself? Oh, that would be interesting. That would be very difficult to verify since we now have to assume the users edited the level, but I might do that as a challenge run actually. That's a great idea for just an interesting challenge run, is take away the auto from all the auto-scrollers and see what happens. Like platform scrollers I think would be harder to edit out the auto part, but like 7-2 would be freaking hilarious because you just jump over Bowser at the start and then peace out, goodbye, he wouldn't keep up with you. Actually, the Wiggler would chase you because then it's going the right direction on the conveyor belts, which could make for some interesting gameplay. Yeah, I don't know if we do that as a category, but now I definitely am interested in doing that just as a stream one day because it sounds super cool. Dang, that'd be awesome. Okay. Sad, I missed the last stair jump. Sad. It's not like a real stair jump, but it's a jump on stairs, so the terminology is a little confusing. I did definitely get the conveyor belt boost that time though, so that's at least something. 6.3 would be pretty much the same, but maybe some other levels could be interesting. That's what I mean, like 6.3 you'd want to edit it so that the entire track has donut blocks, I think, to keep the spirit of what Manaretti is suggesting. So you would, instead of having the track, you'd remove the track and just manually place donuts around that entire track. I would actually think it'd be hilarious. It'd still be frustrating to run 6.3 as like a permanent donut level, but I would still be interested in seeing. Ah, okay. So the time save from the top route on this level, or the subworld route, is so incredibly minimal that if you mess up the beginning, you shouldn't go for it anymore. The problem is you lose more time if you get the power-ups. And so the big question with the bottom route that I'm doing now is whether or not you should get the leaf. So getting the leaf loses time, and therefore, like, as a speedrun, you shouldn't do it. But because I don't practice this bottom route, it can be dangerous to go in without the leaf. So we're gonna go leafless, but I'm scared. I guess it's the summary of where we're at right now. And it's mostly the ending section, but of course anything can go wrong. It's also one of those things where I just don't practice jumping on these types of enemies without a boot. Like, I'm actually now worse at landing on them as regular Mario than I am as boot Mario. When I was playing casually, that was not the case. Definitely was worse trying to keep up with the boot than it was to just do this, but now we're here. And here's the part that gets really tricky, because I need to dodge enough of these enemies, but I don't remember where they come in because I don't play this level. So I don't actually know where I need to keep this guy at. I think there's one more at the end. There we go. Okay, that should be it. All right, we didn't lose too much time. That was fine. It's like, I think just a second save to go the optimal route. So that's why if you mess up the beginning, you lose a second just trying to get back up to it again, and you should take the bottom route. So that's a rare sign on my stream. You got exclusive, or not exclusive, I think Pelosi just does that route. You got unexpected additional unseen level content for the stream, so congrats to everyone watching. You win. You don't actually win anything useful, but you got to see half of an auto-scroller that you don't normally get to see. So ta-da, happy Sunday. Oh my goodness. Alright. Now we're on auto-scroller, it's actually fun. This one wouldn't look that much different, I guess, if you took out the auto, because so many of the rooms just are run anyway. But you have to see. Okay. Actually got the P-switch this time. Whew. And I'm not carrying a POW switch awkwardly for the entire rest of this level like I did last run, so you know, that feels kind of good. Definitely prefer that to what I was doing last time. Oh. Bonus music. Okay. I hate it because there's like just enough waiting in this level with the strats that you have enough time to kind of look away from the screen, but not enough time to do anything. Like, can't get water, can't really talk to chat, just gotta wait for the ending. There we go. 427, 428, and 6.3. Are you getting that? I actually don't remember what the IL time is, Juice, so if you want to tell me what the actual record is, I can compare to that, but I assume that means you're close to it at least with your strats. It's, yeah. As we were talking earlier about whether or not how closely you skipped that section. So I assume that's what we're going back to. Alright. Get the star. Star? Star! Now I'm thinking about Resident Evil, because Nemesis, one of his like classic lines is just stars. And obviously I can't do a great Nemesis voice, but like it's just stars all over. So there's like another classic line where Jill says like, you want stars? I'll give you stars! And then she blows him up. It's great. I love Resident Evil. I've been watching a lot of people's playthroughs of Resident Evil Village recently. Like, I can't play Resident Evil games. I don't like shooting games. I don't like horror games to play, but it's super fun to watch them, so that's been exciting. There's unfortunately 0 stars in Resident Evil 8 so far as I can tell. There is Chris. I guess there's like a little bit of stars, but he's now working for someone else, so you don't get any bonus stars lines. Alright, spiky time. How are we gonna do these jumps today? Yay! Yay again! Okay. Sorry, that's just the 2 spots of that level that can be iffy, and I wanted to be very focused on them so I didn't make a mistake. Alright, we're back. A3. Got 1 second off the IL record in your runs. Okay, so you're not doing the perfectly optimal strat for your run, but you're, what, a second off? That doesn't really make too much of a difference. Especially for a level like 6-3, where if you go for the super optimal strat, you're, like, super optimally, you're only landing on the platform by a pixel. And that's way too narrow of a margin, I think, for that type of time loss in this run. Like, at a certain point, maybe, but, like, I doubt we'll ever get to the point where you need to land pixel perfect in order to get a new record. Like, there will always be more time saved than that. A task, of course. If you were trying to beat a task, you'd have to do everything super optimal, but that's not the point of a task, so you're good. There was someone a while back who was talking about tasks in this game, but I don't think they ever did. I think it'd be cool to see a task this game, but that would be a ton of work. Because this is just like a ridiculously long game. Like, hour 48, hour 50 for a Mario game is like pretty significant. Not for like Odyssey and like a 3D Mario game, but for a 2D Mario game, like this is a decent number of levels. One of the things I had meant to do but hadn't is actually count how many auto-scrollers are in SMB3 versus how many are in this game. Because there's definitely, like, when I watch people run SMB3, they joke about how many auto-scrollers the game has. I feel like this game has to have the most out of any Mario 2D game, though. But I have never actually gone through and counted or done any work to verify that claim. So maybe one day I'll go through and actually count levels from other games to see if what I'm saying is true or just, like, complete nonsense. But, like, come on, I'm already in another auto-scroller. It feels like it has to be. Oh wait, this is another one that's from SMB3. Well, there's 6. So this one is also from SMB3. This is the first airship from SMB3. So if you're playing that game, you'll run into this level too. SMB3 speedrunners generally don't go on top of the ship, and I don't know if it's because they can't though, or if it's because they always want the power-up. Like that block over there, they want the power-up to fast kill the Koopaling at the end of the level, whereas we don't have to kill the boss at the end of this level for whatever reason, and so we don't need any sort of fire flower to do fire strats. Plus, if you can't save the power-up and use it for multiple boss fights, I don't think it's actually optimal. So that's why for us it wouldn't matter anyway, because we never get to save power-ups. We're always small Mario going into a level. Do you guys think that 140 with a perfect task is possible in story mode? I think it'd be a stretch, but at the same time, I'm not willing to say no. Like, too many time saves have been found. Like, I wouldn't have thought we had any time save in 13.1, but we do. I found some today, and then Juice was the one who actually workshopped and proved that it did work. So we suddenly saved 7 seconds just today off of a theoretical RTA best time, and that was out of nowhere. So I'm never going to say, oh no, it's completely impossible. I'll say sub-hours is definitely impossible, but I'm not going to nitpick around the 140 range by any means. I think human viable, probably not though, would be my guess for now, unless we come up with some really crazy skips for some very long levels. Oh boy. If it has the same loads. Yeah, I mean, I assume tasks would be loads as well. Juicy, you don't think it would? Yeah, it simply seems like a stretch. They can go above, I tried, but it's cringe. Go above... Oh, in SMB3 you can go above the ship on that level? Oh, that's interesting. Is it cringe just because it's really hard to pull off, or because it's like not as useful in that game? As I said, I know they want the power-up, and we definitely don't care about the power-up. Like, I take that back. We do care about a power-up. I screwed up. I jumped and then the mushroom didn't spawn because it was like, you're too close, I want my personal space bubble back before I spawn in. I take it back. On that level we actually do want a mushroom, but we get a mushroom at the beginning of the level. And so if you mess up the beginning and you get hit by one of the cannons before you get to the top of the stage, I do actually switch and go the lower route to get the mushroom back so I don't have to worry about the Bowser Jr. fight at the end of that level, but in general you don't have to worry about it. Is 15-2 from anything? Yes, 15-2 is from SMB3's Dark World. In SMB3 Dark World, you have some normal levels. Okay, wait, I kind of want to pay attention because I screwed this up last time. Yeah, we're just gonna like watch the screen for a second and make sure Mario does the thing. And Mario did the thing. That's all that level's supposed to be. Pretty straightforward. Anyway, SMB3, the final world, World 8, is called the Dark World, I believe. And some of the levels are fairly standard levels, but some of them are what is called, or at least what I've called them, I think other people call it Bowser's Army. So there's a level where there's a bunch of tanks in an auto-scroller, there's one for his navy, which is a bunch of ships in an auto-scroller, and there's one called the Air Force, which is a bunch of, in theory, airplanes in an auto-scroller. That is 15-2. I think it's a Boom Boom fight at the end as opposed to the Bowser Jr. that we get, but I do believe that 15-2 is the Air Force level from the Dark World of SMB3. And I think that doesn't even have an official level number. I think it might just have a picture of a plane. Like some of the Dark World levels I don't think have numbers in their names. Just like, it's like the airship is one airship or one castle or one fortress. Like fortresses don't have a number, they're called one fortress. So I think that the airship might fall into the same category. I think I almost died to that and that would have been really sad. But yes, 15-2 is from SMB3. It's one of those. That was one for a while that I didn't think was from SMB3. Like I knew Airship was in SMB3, or sorry, Air Force was in SMB3, but for some reason I thought the level wasn't the same until I watched it again. And I was like, okay, wait, no, this is the same thing. I could start counting the Rocky Wrenches and I think I'd end up with the same number. I believe there are 11 Rocky Wrenches in 15-2. And the only reason I even have a guess at that number is because the medals involve killing all of them, or not killing all of them. And when I was going for the IL for a while, you have to... For the IL, you had to drop your power-up by the end. At least the first times I did it with a strategy where I dropped my power-up late in the level. And as a result, I needed to know how many Rocky Wrenches I had left, so I would drop the power-up as late as possible for safety, but early enough that I actually dropped it before the Bowser Jr. fight. So I would actually pause sometimes to see how many Rocky Wrenches I'd killed to keep track of my progress in the level. So that's why I have that number in my head. Alright, done with this auto-scroller. Sub 130 grind? Oh god. Because you can't flex your pro player skills? Oh, okay. You can't be quite cool. Got it. You can't just show off in the level if you take the shortcut, easy peasy route. Makes sense. No 9-3 cycle? Cringe? Dude, god, between you and Paloxy today, just coming at me for skipping the extremely specific optimal stress that you both know I haven't practiced. Oh man. You know, it's gonna be fun the day that I show up to stream having practiced those though, and just completely blow your minds. Like you're gonna be sitting there, your hands on keyboard, having pre-typed the no 9-3 strat, and then I'm just gonna nail it and you're gonna be like, whoa, what was that? So more than likely I'll show up trying it, die, and then you'll get to laugh at me. So either way, it'll be fun. Oh man, you did Paloxy's job for it? Yeah, well, would it just use the timer? Use the timer for which level? Wait, for which level? Oh, I'm nailing the beginning of that one today. That beginning is not always and not usually that smooth for me, but that's at least twice today where I've just cleaned that out and that feels awesome. I did practice it though. Oh, use the timer for 15-2? Yeah, that would have made more sense. I just didn't do that. Yeah, using the timer to know when to drop the power would have been a much better strategy that didn't involve pausing. I had not thought of that though, so excellent suggestion. I think honestly, if you're going for the IL in it now though, you might as well just not get the leaf. I actually don't remember what I do, now that I think about it. I have the IL record for that one using the strat that Paloxy came up with, but I don't remember. I do think you have to be small Mario for it in order to be far enough to the right by the time your head hits the pipe to go into it. But I legitimately don't remember if I get the power-up and then drop it with 2 hits before the boss room, or if I don't get the power-up to start with. Huh. 1, 2. Now I'm curious. I might have to go look afterward. It'd be interesting. Alright. Jump up here. Whee. Oh! I didn't get the second platform. That's weird. Usually, whenever you're standing on the first platform, you always activate the second. I must be, like, just absolutely perfectly on this platform, though, for it to not trigger, which is weird. 2, 3, 4... I don't think I've had that happen in a while. That second platform almost always comes with me. And I didn't notice it first, but like, Mario stutters his movement if you hit the second one, and so like when that didn't happen, I got thrown off and I was afraid I was gonna fall off the platform for a second. There we go. Making progress, moving forward. Alright. 9 worlds down. Time to go back to 10-1. Get my water real quick. So yeah, 10-1 is also from SMB3. This is the boot world. I wish I remember the level number off the top of my head, but I don't. It's hard enough for me to keep all the level numbers in this game memorized. I have definitely not gotten to the point where I have the level numbers of this game memorized in conjunction with their level numbers from other games, but maybe one day I'll get that full encyclopedia in my head and have all of the knowledge, and then I'll be unstoppable. Wahahaha. Probably not how it works. Ah, a little bit too much of a jump there, but you can see what you're going for. With that strategy, if you land on the very corner of that pipe, that's how you get the optimal no slowing down strategy there. All the jumps. Okay, there we go. Highly recommend watching the SMM. You can see exactly how far I was able to read that sentence before I remembered I had to pay attention to the screen again. Balls. Alright. End of the level this time. I highly recommend watching the SMM1 world record for all 10 Mario challenge course. It made me feel emotions that don't exist because half of them were early versions of the SMM3DS levels. Oh, interesting. I'll have to do that. I didn't realize that they were overlapped levels. That would actually be really fascinating to watch and see like what do prototype levels of this look like. That'd also be good commentary points for when I do my marathon commentary, so I'm always looking for more interesting facts to pull in. Like, I don't know, marathon commentary is an interesting balance of actually talking about what you're doing on screen. Oh, like I know we were memeing about narrating on screen earlier. I have to drop this. I need to learn the strat where you keep the boot. That's on my list. It's high on my list. I haven't done it yet. I know we were memeing earlier about... Actually, I'm going to pay attention because this is where I died last time. That was really cutting it close, but I did not die, so we're doing better than last time at least. Oh, I will eventually get to the end of my sentence. Marathon commentary is interesting because it's definitely a balance of narrating actually exactly what you're doing on screen. Like, I know we were joking about that earlier, but that's actually useful for someone who's never seen the run before. Whereas for the group of people watching now, a lot of you do know this run pretty well. It's not useful for me to tell you I'm jumping. And then also trying to bring in other fun facts that can engage people, right? Where more people, I would hypothesize, have played SMB3 than this game. I don't think that's an incorrect statement. I've looked up the player numbers, but like I'm pretty sure about that. So being able to talk about and relate this game to a game that someone else has played, I think is a great way to make people feel involved in a run and feel like the commentary relates to them. So definitely on the lookout for any fun facts that would relate to games that people have played. And I think the same probably can be said for the Wii version of this game versus this version of this game. Like, my guess is more people have probably played challenge mode in Wii than they have this particular set of levels. Although, while I was doing my marathon commentary for Calithon, I was surprised at how many people in chat actually said, "Oh, I know this game, I played this." And it's like, wait, really? There are more of us? This is kind of cool. I didn't think that was the case. Welcome to the club. So, stuff like that will be helpful, I think. Pretty good run? Oh yeah, it's good so far. Like, I mean, just not dying makes the run good in this game, so... It's one of those things where, like, the bar feels low, because it's just, well, don't die. But also, like, that's harder than it sounds. So, yeah, we're doing alright. Hi, fish. Bye, fish. I want... Oh, that was an evil Yoshi fire pattern there. Okay, we're still good. That grabbing the Yoshi is like the scariest part of this level, where you have off-screen projectiles that you know are coming your way, And you have to guess, do I get Yoshi now, do I get Yoshi later? The benefit of getting Yoshi early is that then you have the Yoshi's safety earlier. But if you get him too early, you'll run into those off-screen projectiles, and then of course you die, and that's not exactly ideal either, so... Balancing act. Hi, Bowser. I'm not very good friends with Bowser, I think. It's probably rude that I spend like the entirety of this level trying to hit him with stuff when I don't need to. Like, I'm never gonna kill him during one of these runs, but at the same time he's never gonna like... I don't know. I feel kind of mean for that since it's unnecessary. I think during my pacifist run I specifically didn't hit Bowser with anything to like make up for it. There we go. You spaced out what was the evil laugh about? Good question. What was the evil? Oh, I was joking about how at some point I'll have so much obscure knowledge about this game that I'll be unstoppable. So in this case I was referencing actually knowing every level number in this game, referencing the level, and knowing the level number of it in its original game, like SMB3. So like right now I know that 10-1 is a copy level from SMB3, but I don't know what the level number is. I know it's in the boot world, I don't remember which world that is, so there we go. Alright, 11-1. Oh god, this one was a mess today. This level goes in cycles for me, where sometimes it's fine, and then other days it's like the most not fine level ever. But that was a good start, so that's a good feeling for sure. Usually if this level goes wrong, it goes wrong in that first conveyor section. Usually you're fine after this point, but I probably shouldn't say that so I don't jinx it. That climbing section is just so frustrating. Every time. It's just like obnoxiously slow when it doesn't need to be. Oh, this part's now slow. I think 11-1 knows that I don't like it and just tries to be obnoxious in return. It's like, oh, you don't like me? Here, let me prove to you why. That's how I think that conversation goes. In early 1-2, they take the bottom path? Oh, really? For the challenge runs? That is definitely slower in our version. Like, we've tried. Interesting. I'm finally taking Peloxi's advice, the don't die advice. I know, right? It's surprisingly good advice, just a little difficult to pull off. Sometimes it feels like there were maybe some missing steps, like, alright, so you don't want me to die, but how? How do I not die on some of these levels? These levels are somewhat designed to kill you. Actually, that's not true. Most of these levels are designed to have fun while teaching you about the gameplay. This is not a game that is designed to be evil and murder the players. Like, Super Meat Boy is a game that's designed to be evil and murder the player over and over. This game is not a Super Meat Boy. It does have a Super Meat Boy level. I maintain that 13.6 is a Super Meat Boy reject level, but for the most part, it's not trying to do that. Yoshi Boy. I'm not a Yoshi fan. Do not like Yoshi. I used to like Yoshi. I used to think it was sad when speedrunners were like, no, discard Yoshi. He's just a tool. And now I'm like, okay, I get it. Now that I'm in the speedrunner's shoes, I think I see what you were saying about this character here. He is a little bit annoying. Okay. This is one of the levels where I am, as of now, taking the risk and dropping the safety mushroom that I've gotten all the way up until now, so wish me luck. I might need it. In theory, I don't, because I haven't gotten hit on this level in a long time either, but, you know, now I'm tempting fate. Not just by skipping the mushroom, but by talking about it, so you all know what's happening. Alright, let's take out this chain chomp for safety. The fun thing is I can go back to doing what I used to do, which is to get this mushroom and then reject it by hitting it backwards. Which is like, just something fun to do on this level since it's an auto-scroller and there's not a lot else fun to be doing. So, you know, I'll take that. That's fine. Alright, I'm gonna be patient on that jump though, because that's another thing you can mess up. Alright, gotta get my extra lives. How many extra lives do I get? I'm at 52 right now. Here they come. Alright, got 3 from that. That's not too many. Should be able to get an additional 1 here. Bring us all the way up to a grand total of 56 lives. It's a good number of lives. I still don't know why I got ahead of Juice in lives. So I was doing a run against Juice, and I had died once, I think, and he hadn't died at all yet. And somehow I still had more lives than him, and it was very confusing how that happened. Like, clearly I must have done something different, gotten different coins, like, done different enemy bounces. But it was just one of those things where it's like, but wait, why? And it wasn't just like 1 life. I wasn't like 1 life ahead. I was like 3. It was very confusing. Alright, we're good though. We got extra lives. We got through the level. We're feeling good. Waiting for someone to get a sub 55 world 11? Oh, okay. I was like, we don't do world runs. No one does world runs. So you have individual levels, we have full game. Yeah, sub 55 would be pretty cool, but honestly, I'm just happy anytime I'm deathless through this far in the run. Like, this is awesome. Would like to continue being deathless, but definitely not guaranteed. Especially with these sections, like, I almost died there. Fun fact, I screwed up. Somehow miraculously didn't die though, so we're fine. That was a terrible song, and there's a reason I'm not a singer. Okay, we're back on track though. I messed this up in practice once where I actually died on those like donut sections because I just completely did the wrong thing. I ran instead of jumping or whatever, so I was actually a little bit nervous for that. And no, I'm not going for the strat, just preemptively. What? No? What am I on? 11-4 strats? No, I'm not doing the 11-4 strats. I'm on good pace. I'm not throwing away my whole run to a trick I don't practice. Oh, I missed that though. Okay, actually need to split. Ready? Actually splitting. Success. That's really the star of the run so far, is that I actually got a World 11 split. That is not common for me. Oh man. Just play perfect. Yeah, just play perfect. That's fine. I mean, I'm sure that sub 55 World 11 is possible. Like, I'm entirely confident there's more than 30 seconds worth of time save and just basic movement tech, like, you know, clean mechanics. I mean, just, you know, you have time on 9-3. So, like, I'm definitely that one's possible even though I'm deathless and don't have, like, the major time saves lying around. I don't like this level some days. We'll see what type of day today is. It was a very safe start to get to the clown car. Alright, here we go. Oh, why am I so nervous today? Oh, I need to do more attempts because I'm like way too nervous for being on World 12 of this. Like, dude, yeah, I'm over halfway through the game, but like not by much. And I'm way too nervous for that. Like, come on. I need to do more attempts. I think I'm just nervous because it's the first time I've been on like actual good pace for a while. So it's like, oh, I need to do this. No, it's fine. Oh, I thought you were like 10 lives ahead, lol. It might have been. I don't remember what the actual life count was. I just know it was weirdly too many. Like, 1 life ahead, I would have believed a difference in coin count. This was like way more than made sense. And so I'm still very confused as to how I got that far ahead. Angry face? I assume that was for the lack of an 11-4 skip. Alright, so here is the level that I think, we talked about this earlier, would be the most obnoxious one to fully narrate. Right? Where I have to go charging, fire, charging, fire, charging, fire, charging, fire, charging, fire. Like, I'll stop now, but that would be this entire level. And that's not even accounting for the fact that if I was truly narrating all my movements, I'd be talking about the directions I'm pushing in. Like right here, I'm tapping up every once in a while to keep myself from falling into the abyss. Like, yeah, this would be a lot. This would be probably the worst level to ask someone to do like an entire narrated run of. And to be fair, you don't have to fire every single time your charge is available, but like, why wouldn't you? It's kind of fun. And then as well, it's good practice to get you in the rhythm for the Bowser fight. Like, the real benefit of doing these charge shots so frequently at the beginning is to set up your timing for the Bowser fight. And I don't always do them like super spammy because it gets a little obnoxious. And like, again, you don't need to. But like, if I'm legit practicing for that Bowser fight, then I should be really trying to optimize the timing now and get it in my head. And see, that's like too short. I'm trying to over-optimize. That's why you practice. But I'm not actually going to do that. It's a little, like I said, a little too obnoxious. I do shoot a lot of fireballs though, because I like to clear everything off the screen. And there's some speed strat to that, which is just if things are dead, they can't hurt you. I know that's also just like a wild statement to make in a Mario game, but in this game, if things are dead, they don't hurt you. And if they don't hurt you, you're less likely to die. And so that's why blowing up all the enemies on screen is a good idea for this level. Like, that's why this is the recommended strategy. You can go for high score, you can do all this other cool things, but if you are speedrunning this game, it is recommended that you just blow the heck out of everything on these screens as soon as possible. Alright. Nope, no stair jump. Sad face. That's okay. Charging fire. Coin collection. Yeah, if you had to narrate every time you got a coin too. Or maybe that was about the extra lives. Because I don't think I get that many extra coins over like Juice or anyone else in this game. But again, somehow I had 3 extra. I still don't know how that happened. Oh, you ding when you collect a coin? Oh my goodness, that'd be so obnoxious. Can you imagine like some of the feather levels, the cape levels? They're like ding 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 ding! Ding ding ding! Because so many times in this game, the coins are just like immediately oh, I got the short one, and then I couldn't get out of the cart. That's okay. So many times in this game, it's not like you get 1 coin, you get a whole chain of them. Like ding 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 ding! I think I missed one. Or like any of the tutorial levels where it's like showing you the correct path via coins. No, die! Ah! That was so scary. No, okay, well that was a time loss, but I didn't die, and that's really the most important thing, and we can all agree that that's the most important thing. Oh boy. So my heart just doubled in rate. I was so dumb. It just looks stupid. I'm Mario in a cart that can blast fire, and I'm having a midair standoff with a Goomba and its kids as it walks them to school. Like, what is that section? Oh, it was very scary though. Thank you, Juice. It was terrifying. Okay, new strat time. I now jump out of the cart at the end of this level, so that's scary. And I'm already like in a heart-pounding sort of mood from a literal blooper standoff, so I'm sure this is gonna go well. Oh well. Okay, beginning was smooth at least. Oh, almost smooth. Get my thumb repositioned, get ready for drift car time, and focus. Made it! Okay. Sorry. I normally talk through that part, but I specifically switched up my strat lately. Cold split. So I died in roll 12 on my PB, which is why I'm suddenly 40 seconds ahead. I did not play 40 seconds well. Like, I didn't really save that much time. It's just that's my 1 PB death, so that's my 1 death buffer that I have for this entire run. The world record gets the death later, which is why I'm still fairly even with that one. But yeah, I switched up my strat at the end of 12-4 to better match the aisle. It's a little bit dangerous because you have to jump over those spikes, and then you have to jump a second time to get Bowser Jr. to throw the shells higher. If you don't jump after landing that first time, you will get hit by Bowser Jr.'s shells, and it always looks scary. Oh, also for anyone who's wondering, this is 13-1. This is the level we've been like labbing as I've been streaming today. This propeller is what you get to skip with the new strategy. And what you need to do is in this next column on the right, between this pipe and that wall, you would need to do a whole bunch of wall jumping. But with the propeller, you skip that. So the wall jumping saves you from getting the propeller, and that's why that is a shorter strat than what we've been doing. I so thought I was dead to the lava there. Did anyone else see how close that was? Oh god, today is the day. I don't even know. That was way too close of a call. I'm not sure how I'm still alive after that. Anyway. But 13-1, this is the level we've been talking about, how that beginning section, you can skip getting the propeller by doing some really careful wall jumps and twirls in that section to the right of the pipe. So if you were lost on that conversation, that was your chance to catch up on it. Sorry, the level's already gone. I almost died and gave you a chance to see it again by falling into the lava, but that did not happen, so it's probably good. And now we get a breather, which is good, because I needed that. That was way too many close calls in way too short of an amount of time. Now we just get to do our little escort mission. This is the level where I was saying if I were to match every level to a bunny in my collection, this would be the one with the basket, because you're just sort of escorting an item, carrying it around, waiting for it to come with you. I hate how it like psychs you out there where it looks like it's about to go and then it gets caught again and you're like, really though? Did you have to? Oh, well. And just preemptively, no, I'm not doing the P-switch jump here either. Like, just, I've learned at this point that I need to call out ahead of time the dumb strats I'm not going for because they're dumb, otherwise I'll get called out in chat. And by that I mean I'll probably still get called out in chat, but at least now you knew ahead of time. Can't say I didn't warn you. Actually, you can still say that, but just like, don't. Oh well, let's see if I can get this, because I've been iffy on this one. I think that's right. I honestly don't remember if I'm supposed to go on the up or down of 2, but I think it's the up of 2. And I think that's what works out, but we'll see. Yeah, yeah, that was perfect. That was super clean. Okay. Made it past the escort mission. I was safe. I did not feel safe, at least, on that one. I was going really close to the edge of the muncher platforms in a way that I normally don't, but it may have been safer than it felt. It may have looked safer than I thought I was, which is fair. Your death is in 6-2. You took a major L and lost your worlds. Oh! Was it? Oh, it was a 6-2 death. Right. It was just an extremely short 6-2 death. That's what it was. Thank you for correcting me. I'm back on track now. Alright, pirate ship section is done. Dude, I'm getting in my own head though, because I was reading a scary story about a pirate this week. And so now I'm thinking about someone losing their eyeball. Fun mental image. Apologies for throwing that on everyone all of a sudden. You still don't get how to do that consistently? In 13.2, Peloxy put out a strat for it. That's the one of the other levels where we actually have like a written guide. It's not too bad as long as you remember to do it. I get it consistently every time I remember to go for it. It's usually I don't get it if I completely forget I'm going for the strategy and do what I used to do. But at this point my muscle memory is a lot better on doing the strat than not, so I'm getting it more consistently than I used to. I don't know if any of the words in that string of sentences made sense, because I feel like I lost my train of thought halfway through, but hopefully that communicated something of value. Maybe not, maybe yes. We'll have to see. Alright. Whee! This level would be interesting with no auto-scroll, because I wonder what it would do to the muncher, not the muncher, the piranha plant cycles. Like we were talking earlier about what if we made a version of this game where all the auto-scrollers were just no longer auto? This level would definitely be an interesting one to try to do with no auto. Because one of the nice things about it is you've got plenty of time to dodge all the enemies, so even though there's a lot of them, it's not too bad to navigate through. If you just had to solidly run, I feel like this level would actually be hard to do optimally. But again, it depends on what that does to the piranha plant cycles, because one of the reasons this level is an auto-scroller is because that way the muncher cycles are I keep calling them munchers. The piranha plant cycles are always set up correctly. Well, that worked much better than my normal strat. Normally I take damage and waste a half-second time loss because I start kicking all the shells around. It turns out going pacifist on this level is actually a good time save though, so good to know. But yeah, this would be fun with no auto-scroller. Slower IGT than Small Mario? Yes. Technically I think this one you're faster on IGT if you are Large Mario at the end, because Large Mario hits ending flags sooner in auto-scroller levels. And that is proven by the aisles in one of the levels. Which level is it? I don't remember which level number. Oh, I need the propeller. I thought I was on 6 already and I'm on 5. Which one does that happen on? It's the airship SMM1 theme one, where that's where I learned that Large Mario hits the flag 1 frame sooner than Small Mario does. So you actually do want to be Large Mario for optimal time. Well, that was close to not making that platform. I think this is one where I need to... Juicy's is a different strat, I need to see if it's faster for me too. But oh well. No hand cramping, no sore thumb. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get that. I always get nervous that my hand... Like, I think one of my things I'm most nervous about for marathon runs is just that my hand is going to start hurting the week before and like I won't be able to do it. Like that'd be so sad if leading up to the marathon, I couldn't practice. I felt nervous going in that I would have to like stop the run partway through. Like that would be a terrible, terrible feeling. But thankfully, I don't think I've ever gotten to the point where I wouldn't be able to push through and at least do that one run. Like I might not be able to practice as much as I want to, but I'd be able to do the run no matter what. So it's just one of those things where it's like the nightmare of what could go wrong, but it's not something that I'm like super worried about because I think it's incredibly unlikely. I should not have been that risky there. There was no need to go for that. Oh my goodness. Why do I have so little patience today for things? So that's like the IL timing, by the way. Like if you want to get the IL on this, that's the sort of timing you're looking at for that fire bar. But in no way is that necessary for an actual run. And that was a mixture of showing off and stupidity. Probably more of the stupidity than the showing off, if I'm being honest. Alright, that was World 13. Dude, 2 gold splits in a row. Let's go. Still at minus 40. My death was slow. I don't remember where my death was in my PP, but it was slow. It was a 30-second one. Well, no one goes for this strat, so... Oh, that was about 12-4? Yeah, 12-4 is, 12.4, the newer strat honestly might be safer for me just because I've messed up that last section so many times coming out of the lava that the fact that you can jump through the spike section while in the lava means you don't have to worry about that sudden movement change. So I actually low-key think I may be better at the more dangerous looking strat in 12.4 than I am at the safer one that I've been using for like a year now. So yeah, that's a thing. Alright, it's the boo ring level. That still makes me laugh. Now I'm back to thinking about Luigi's Mansion from earlier, because like in Luigi's Mansion 1, a huge element of skill in that run is how you handle the boo fights and how you can lock them in place so they don't switch rooms on you, because if a boo escapes to a different room, you lose a ton of time. Whereas in this game, this is really the only level where I think boos are super relevant. They also have their Haunted Mansion level that is like more Haunted Mansion-y. That's like one of 9.2 maybe? 8.2? No, not 8.2. I don't remember the level number. I'm still working on all the level numbers. Dang it! I messed up. We have to do the backup strat now, which I'm sad about. Lost some time. It's okay though. I haven't done the backup strat in a while though either, but it's not actually that bad. Basically, you just have to go up and around instead of getting to... Wait. There we go. We did it. Oops, I missed what Juice's and Manoretti's reactions were for. Oh, that must have been for 13.6. Yeah, that was unsafe. The hardest part for you is going under the shell. You have to jump. As long as soon as you land after going through that spike hallway, you jump all the way, full jump, you're fine. If you do not jump, you will get hit by the shell. But if you do the jump, you do a full jump when you come through the hallway, it baits Bowser Jr. up, and you can consistently run underneath it without having to worry about dodging. Like, it looked like I was cutting it close, and it still makes my heart skip a beat, but I am never really in danger there as long as I follow that execution pattern. Like, the shell will always go above your head as long as you do that setup the same way. So, it's not as bad as it looks. Yeah, definitely feel free to try it out. It's not as bad as it looks. Keep in mind you may have to start from like before the spike section just to get that consistent because you need Bowser Jr. to load in the same way. Like you have to make sure he's reacting to your same movements, but not nearly as bad as it looks, thankfully. Alright. Dang, I need more water. I keep forgetting to do water because there's too much interesting stuff to talk about between levels. Okay, this one... So when I was practicing, I recently went and replayed every single level as part of my practice, which was good, because I had completely forgotten where to do the first damage boost on this level. Like in practice, I damage boosted through the first fight, and then panicked, and then just completely died like in this water section because I just forgot the pattern, but... We're good now. I practiced, I remembered where to go. I got this. That is the correct pattern, by the way, for that level, is to damage boost through the like second section instead of the first. Alright, action movie time! This is the one that feels like it's out of an action movie. I know I've said that before, but it's because everything's exploding, you're running fast, the world is on fire! Like, this is the most James Bond level in the game. And damageless second half, let's go. Woo. I get the checkpoint and the mushroom on this level for safety, you don't have to get them, but it's super risky to go without it. And so, it is nice though when I can get through the second half of the level and play it well enough and optimally enough to not lose the mushroom. Because then at least I lost half a second for playing safe, but I don't lose a full second for then messing up the second part. So that always makes me happy. Alright. And now we get the Oscar. I should have time to get water in this one actually, that'll be good. It's almost 3 AM, you should probably go to bed. Oh my god, yeah dude. Thanks for staying up this late, but like, I hope you get enough sleep for whatever you're doing this week or tomorrow. Like, sweet dreams and all. Thanks for hanging out though. But yes, please do not lose all of your sleep for this. Thanks for the good luck. I appreciate it. I will likely need it. Oh, that's easy, lol? Yes. Like, it's... That 12-4 strat is not too difficult to do. It definitely is scarier than the other one. But that's why I was able to incorporate it pretty quickly into the run, is that once you've practiced it a few times, it's not that bad to do. And like I said, I happen to be pretty bad at the old strat, so doing it this way, honestly, is probably more consistent for me. And it just looks cool. Like, it adds a nice visual element of danger to the run. Like, I'm still, like I said, I'm on marathon prep mode already, so I'm thinking about, like, what's gonna look cool. And that's, like, also something that I think is just fun as a speedrunner to put the swag points in. But it has a nice visual element of danger where the ending of it looks very scary. Like, it is scary to jump through the spikes, but once you've gotten through them, that shell is consistent. But you still look like you're inches from death when you're running underneath Bowser Jr. So it's still a cool looking element to the run as well as being a useful strat. So it's like a win-win-win. It's faster, for me it's a bit more consistent, and it looks freaking cool. So that's like the perfect type of strat to incorporate. So that's why I was at the top of my list of things to figure out this week when I was doing more of my strat updates than just strat practice. I was gonna have water, but I think I missed the best spots for water. That's okay. You can get water during the between world cutscene too, because there's always time then. When was it Yamamura and Mary-O are having their conversation? I think those are the character names for the pigeon and the woman who talks to the pigeon. Describing her as the woman who talks to the pigeon feels kind of weird though. Like, that's such an odd character description. The other person who helps with dolls. I don't, calling her a pigeon's assistant also feels weird though. So maybe the woman who talks with the pigeon is nicer than the pigeon's assistant. Like, neither of those sound like great jobs to have. I don't think I would apply for a job if the job title was pigeon assistant, even if it had to do with Mario level design. Well, actually, maybe. It would be fun to design Mario levels, and if I had to be a pigeon assistant to do that, maybe I'd consider giving it a go, but probably not. My guess is on no for that scenario. Alright, almost done with the longest level in the game. Just get out of my way, Fireball. Almost there. And we're good. Okay. Huh. Like, this level isn't scary, but it's just long. Alright, there we go. Time for a boring level. Yes. Plus it's fast. Right? Like, everything. Everything just works together for that 12-4 strat. It's awesome. Oh yeah, see, even Yamamura the pigeon is asleep after 14-4. I do not feel bad calling that level boring. I'm kind of sad it doesn't give their names on those screens because I keep forgetting them, and it's one of those things where as game knowledge I think it's nice to just know that when I'm supposed to be presenting the game. Because again, like, I think about marathon runs as not just a show of skill, but also a performance of some kind, right? So being able to talk intelligently about the game as a representative of it I think is a useful part to that. And so knowing the name of the pigeon and the woman falls into that category for me, where it's like it doesn't help with the speedrun, but I feel like it comes across as more knowledgeable. Like, I feel like that's something I'd want to know if someone quizzed me on it during this. I don't know, maybe it's just because, like... Oh, hi. That's not where I wanted you to be. Let me focus on this jump real quick. That was close. Maybe it's just like, I don't know. There's definitely still a stigma around women in gaming sometimes, and so maybe I'm just afraid as a woman that, like, if people ask me a question about a game and I can't answer it, they'll assume it's because I'm female and, like, women suck at games, as opposed to going like, well, that's a random obscure fact that not everyone needs to know. So I think there's definitely some of that still plays into, like, me wanting to have all of the game knowledge, wanting to know where all of the levels originally came from. Like, it's not just curiosity, it's also, like, out of a type of fear. But thankfully, like, the speedrunning community tends to be a really awesome place where that has never happened to me. I've never felt left out. And I'm fortunate that's not been everyone's case in speedrunning, but I like our community. I think our community is pretty awesome. Like, yay, good job us. There's a lot of drama this week around, I think, the Sonic speedrunning community, and a member of that community who was just horrifically toxic, which was super disappointing. But I don't think we've had that in our community yet, which is good. I say yet, can always happen, but don't think it has yet. Of course, if anyone thinks it has and I just haven't noticed, please let me know. But so far, so good for our little corner of the internet. So this is the level that we were talking about earlier that does also come from SMB3. This is Bowser's Air Force, which I don't think is the official name of the level, but I think is the name that everyone calls it. It's in the Dark World. It's one of those last end of game levels. What I can't remember is whether or not it's also at slow scroll speed in that game, or whether or not in that game it's at a fast speed. And whether or not there's as many, like, leaves just flying around as there are in this one. There may be some differences between the two. But the overall structure model is the same. Alright, here we go with the Bowser Jr. fight, though. This was an interesting one for me in practice today, so we'll see what we get. Okay, this is the right setup. Ah! Got the strat! Sorry, that was probably loud. There's like 3 different strats I have for that one. That's the strat I'm actually going for, because that's the fastest out of the strats that I use, is to do a shell jump there. That's close to the former world record strat. For a while, the world record strat was to do a shell jump there, as opposed to the new world record strat, which Pelongsi found that I was able to execute, which was jumping over both things at once. Which is kind of a wild one. But before then, I got the world record with the shell jump strat, so that's still one of my favorites when I can pull it off, because I think it again is that nice intersection of, oh hi, we're doing slow strats for this now. Nice intersection of looks cool is fast, which I think is like optimal for speedrunning. Okay, got through this level without dying, that's okay. This level I sometimes just randomly die on because I can, and it's not my favorite thing when it happens, but can happen. Alright. Ah, auto platform scroller. Let me grab some more water for this one. Buckle, this is also a long one. This is one of the ones where you can skip parts of the level. And for the marathon run, I likely will skip parts of the level. Like, I will go for the chain chomp strat, I will go for the beginning level strat for this. I'll give myself, I think, 2 tries each is what I had done last time, and that worked out pretty well. But it's not super consistent. I actually used to go for the chain chomp strat in speedruns on this game, and ended up dropping it at one point because I realized I was losing runs to it. Like when I first started speedrunning this game, oh, oops. Well, when I first started speedrunning this game, like, you would just die a lot. Like 13 deaths was still world record at the time. And so I could afford to go for some of these dumb strategies because the deaths, while they were still just as costly in terms of absolute time as they used to be, like the amount of time you lose from dying to that strat did not change. The like percentage of time that you lose to it did, like the amount of time you lost to that, okay, words. The amount of time you lose if you miss that strat relative to the buffer you have on world record shrunk considerably, right? It used to be you'd have 5, 10, 15 minutes buffer on world record sometimes. And so losing 30 seconds on one of these strats didn't mean that much. Whereas now, you can see my buffer on world record is 7 seconds. Overall, it's at 30, right? Like, I don't have 30 seconds to waste, or I won't be able to PB anymore. And so that's why, even though the strategy I've probably even gotten better at since then, the riskiness, like the consistency of it has stayed the same. The amount of riskiness to it has gone up, given the way the rest of the run works out now. So I feel like I did a horrible job explaining that. So I tried, but I apologize for that one. Alright, let me just split and get back on track. Let's go. Man, we're doing really well compared to PB. That's a good feeling. Alright. Welcome back, Juice. Came back and I'm not doing the 15-4 strat. I explained why I wasn't doing the 15-4 strat for the entirety of 15-4. I literally spent all of 15-4 explaining why I'm not going for those 2 strategies in way too much detail. So I hope that justifies the lack of inclusion of it there. Oh dang, I'm actually out of water. That's like the first time in a long time where I've been streaming and I've actually run out of water. I usually completely forget to have water. And as well, I think a lot of my streams lately have been a bit shorter because I haven't been able to get good runs going. But this stream had one run about halfway through the game and this run which is still going. So that is going to make it a longer stream because this is a longer run category. Okay, that part. This is another level I've been practicing some specific updated strats. Nothing too crazy, but just like I no longer do full jumps on that donut. I'm now going to go a little bit more aggressive on this ending section here, so we'll see what that looks like. Yep. Like that doesn't look much different than what I used to do, but what I used to do definitely involved waiting a lot longer and doing more full bounces, which slow you down because it takes longer for you to reach the ground to do the next bounce or to go through the door or whatever. So that was a level I specifically been working on to get it better. So I'm glad that that one went fairly smoothly. I think I actually got everything that I was looking for there, at least close to it. Alright, this level, which I get nervous on for no good reason. Okay, beginning was fine, we're good. Specifically this section, the one platform where you get the star, is the part in this level that's the most scary, because you have to be ready to react to what you do after you get the star. So you get the star, the game will like do its thing, and then you either land on the springs, in which case you want to do a full spring jump, or you'll land on the donuts, in which case you want to do a full jump off of those. But if you hit the springs, or otherwise don't do that section quickly, you sometimes run out of star power by the end of that level, and then you have to be ready to adjust to a damage boost timing. And God, I hate adjusting on that level. That's my level where I hate the backup strategy the most. Not because it's hard to pull off, but because I just don't do it well. Like, that level makes me nervous in a way that it doesn't necessarily need to, and I don't think it makes other runners of this game nervous. That goes back to being like a nemesis level, which is still like my coin term for levels that are harder for me than for other people because of my own like issues with them. So, yay. Wow. Asterisk making excuses. Thanks, Juice. Appreciate the support. I mean, it is, right? It's an excuse for not going for it, but I think I think I made the right decision. I think that my decision is fundamentally sound. I will still take that decision. Alright, well, it's time to see how many times it takes us to get this ground pound thing. Oh. First try, let's go. On IL world record pace for this level right now. Watch out, everyone. Already no longer on IL world record pace for this one for the record, but... oh man. I have been in practice completely failing. Oh, that was slow. Completely failing at getting that ground pound. It took me like 5 tries one time. And so I was expecting to be there for like at least a few seconds. So the fact that I got that one first try like actually feels good. That's like a good thing for sure. Alright. I'm not preemptively not doing the PAL drop strat. I know it saves time, it's nice and all, but I want my helmet for the Bowser fight, please. And I have a feeling that if I do the PAL drop strat, I am much more likely to lose my helmet than I am to get the strat, so we're just gonna roll with this. Okay. I was also in practice completely unable to get any of these shortcuts. Okay, there's one. 2! Yo! This is going so much better than practice did. 3, 4. Like, I couldn't get any of that movement during my practice runs, like, I think earlier today or yesterday, like, at all. Alright, I'm doing the slow strat, where you jump on top of the bomb instead of spin jumping it. Because I don't want to miss that section at all. Okay, Sludge Bros were nice. Let's see what we get from Bowser now. And immediately lose the helmet. This is not going to be good. Okay, Bowser's being nice. That is not nice, but I'm close. Yeah, I was really close. I knew I was close on that one. Oh, that was a scary Bowser fight. So that was interesting mix. Interesting mix of like 16-4 cooperating and 16-4 completely not. Have you been doing 16-4 world record attempts? No, I have not. But I did practice it at least a few times, and it was not going great. That was scary, though. So losing the helmet means that depending on Bowser's fire patterns, you're screwed. And Bowser thankfully only did one real fireball that mattered, and I was able to dodge it, and I barely got the timing for both Sludge Bros. The second one I almost missed jumping for, and I probably would have still finished the level because I was super close when he did his, like, burst attack. So, like, I probably would have been fine to kill him during the burst attack as opposed to having to dodge through it, but that was still way closer than it needed to be. Alright. Time to wait on this level. I almost went too early. Alright, now it's how many tries is it going to be to get through this section? Well, there's one. Okay. Come on. That section is so much harder to do with shaky fingers. Alright, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 2 tries, not too bad. Definitely time loss, but whatever. And then I count a lot in that level, as it turns out, especially at the ending, because 5 twirls will land you on that second donut block. And if you continue to twirl too late, you will actually... You have a risk of wall jumping as a twirl off of the right side of the screen. And that's definitely not what you want to do at that point in the level. Like, by far, that would be bad. So, gotta be a little bit careful with that one. Okay. Bomb level. Oh, that's sad. That's a time loss. Come back, Key. I need you, please. Okay. I need to take deep breaths. I know how to take deep breaths, I think. My microphone were better, you could hear my breath shaking on the deep breath. I'm, like, way more nervous than I should be at this point. Like, I'm on good pace. That's freaking me out. Just gonna be real about it. I'm trying to like forcibly calm myself back down though, because I would like to continue to be on good pace. And I found that historically, oh wait, I need to be quiet and do jumps, or counting. I did counting correctly. Historically, if I'm nervous, then I tend to lose my good pace. So that's why I'm trying to take deep breaths and calm down. Oh, like even from freaking counting bomb explosions, my heart rate went up. I'm not even wearing my Fitbit today, so I can't tell you what my heart rate is, but it's higher than normal. I can guarantee you that. You got this? Tell yourself that this run sucks. It's behind world record, so I'm not on world record pace, right? You know, I might as well just do it as a no reset run practice, right? Just see what this feels like, see how this works. Ugh. Oh well, just gotta keep going. What is this level? Ah, this is this level. So much fun. Am I gonna get the opening? Okay, we're good so far. No. Did not get the fast cloud. Sad. I have to wait for the cloud. Hi, cloud. I was like a pixel off too. I was super close on that one. The beginning there, for anyone who doesn't know, you have to stand on the very left edge of a platform while you're waiting for a bomb. Oh, that's what okay. I mixed up two strategies that I've been practicing and got the wrong thing. But it's okay, because the rest of this is fine. You have to stand on the left edge of a platform in order to keep the pipe with the cloud in it on screen. Like, you have to be able to see at least 1 pixel of green from that pipe in order to get the cloud to spawn early, so when you come back to it, it's already there. You don't have to do the waiting that I did, so yeah. You're shaking my head, not ahead of world record. I know, right? Why am I even on a run in World 17 that's not ahead of world record? Why haven't I just given up by now? Sad face. Shaking my head too. I'm even doing it visually so you can confirm that I'm in fact not just saying shaking my head, like I'm physically shaking it. That was way too dramatic of a head shake. I don't know if I've like done that dramatic of a head shake in years. How often do you actually like shake your head no that dramatically? Like, I've done it emphatically where you do it quickly with short motions. I have not done the dramatic no. Whatever the heck that is. The closest I've gotten is when I was hosting, I hosted a run called Pompu, which had an adorable little bird that would dance at the end of every level. It was super cute. And its dance was kind of like this thing. It was like just a really nerdy sort of dance. But anyway, like that, I was trying to emulate it even though like no one could see me. And it was probably good that no one could see me emulate this dance because I didn't do it well. But that was definitely the head movement that I did. Almost nice. Just had to take the damage at the end. That was definitely like the head motion for that bird. It was like this whole jamming thing. It was like little figure 8 motions. So that's the closest I've gotten to an emphatic head now. Oh, dang it. I finally remembered to drink water. I was like, I should drink water right now. There is no water. I'm sad. Probably because I put ice in it too. Because it's a little bit toasty sometimes today. So like I put ice in it. I almost forgot to jump. That would have been bad. Put ice in it. And of course, ice takes up more space than water at the same weight does. So maybe that's why I'm running a little bit shorter than I expected on water. Just the ice was nice. It kept it cold. It kept it nice and refreshing. But it did take up some space that could have been used on actual water. So sad, no water? Yeah, see, exactly. Sad, no water. Because now I'm thinking about it after every level, because my throat is starting to dry out and I can hear my voice getting drier. I don't know if it sounds any different on stream, honestly. I know that a lot of times your voice can sound different to you in your head, but no one else can hear the difference because it's not prominent enough. So at this point, my voice to me sounds hoarse. It sounds dehydrated. It sounds a little raspy. But I don't know if that's actually showing up on stream, and it's not by enough that it's like a huge deal. I almost died there because I forgot my jump pattern. That was scary. Please don't int it in World 17. Oh shoot, 17.8's coming up. Dang it. I mean, 17.7 is coming up as well, and I've inted 17.7 before on multiple occasions. But 17.8. I did practice actually being patient on 17.8 though, and not dying to the Hammer Brothers. But as we have seen so far in this run, patience has not been my strong suit, so that is something to watch out for. Alright. But first, I guess there's lots of boos in this run. Like, not just the boo rings, but we got this little friend here who's carrying a cannon over for us. And he's like, doing it? Ah, seriously? He's doing it because he wants to murder our faces, but it's convenient that it lets us advance, right? Like, without that cannon, we could not progress in the level. So it's nice that he's doing that for us and like taking us into account on that one. All right, 1, 2, 3. I'm doing the safe one, even though I was getting the fast stair climb in practice. I still like doing the safe route for that. So say if you take multiple jumps up the stairs, you can actually do it in like 2 if you're going quickly. Just think 18-2 is coming up. Is that supposed to be reassuring, or are you going like, good luck with that one? Because yeah, you can int it on 18-2 as well. I can't like, I know there was some run. I don't know if it was a run or a race where I died there like 3 times. I don't remember if it was old or recent record either. Oh man. Okay, 17-8. Here we go. Yoshi, how are you feeling today? I'm probably going to be a little bit quieter for this one because it's been iffy. Okay, got that part. That's like the first part of this where it's like it can go just completely wrong and you can lose all of the time. Like I'm still not sure if it's actually faster to reset if that happens. Like you miss the fire. Okay, here comes the serious part. That was a... oh god, this is a mess already. Nothing's gonna be on the right pattern. Okay, that worked out. Oh, I jumped into that. You definitely saw me jump into that, right? I want Yoshi back for this. Okay, that worked out surprisingly well despite my best attempts to screw it up, so we're actually still doing okay on pace. Oh, that was scary. Alrighty then, we are on to World 18. 18.5 is coming up. Thank you. Yes, 18.5 I'm looking forward to. 18.2 less so. No shame in being quiet around good pace. I mean horrible pace. Thanks. No, I appreciate it, because I don't like not talking, because I don't like it when I go into a stream and it's just dead silence, but I appreciate that you understand that if I'm on good pace, I do want to focus more, and that's going to be easier when I'm quiet, so we'll definitely do that. The mix is that sometimes that can actually make me more nervous, because then I'm like, oh no, it's happening. So it's definitely a balancing act to go, am I quiet right now, am I not? Oh great, we have to deal with everything here. This is not good at all. Backup fire flower? Okay, not dead. That's about all I can say for that, it's just not dead. Let's take our time getting into this as well, because I have died before to missing getting in that cart, and that's always pretty sad. Okay, we're good. Oh, I had like messed up at the beginning and was trying to go down to avoid something, and then I ended up hitting something else, and that was definitely not the right thing to do, so. Oh well. Oh, I did get through on that. I was curious. Oh, hi. Well, I am just finding every new time loss I can on this level today, aren't I? There's a couple spots where I wasn't sure if I was going to get enough to break through the cinder blocks on that try, so that's why I hung back there instead of going for it, but it's fine. So there we go. That was an interesting 18-1, but made it through. Ta-da! Dang it, I went for my water again before it's like, oh, I don't have the water. I have to wait another 13-ish minutes before I get water. Wait, that's actually a long time. Hold up, why is World 18 so long? Dang it. Like, I know why. It's because it has 8 levels, which makes it one of the longest worlds by level count even. And then on top of that, 18.7 is a not fast auto-scroller. And then 18.8 is the longest non-auto-scroller level by far, just partially due to all the pipe transition timings. So like, I know why it's slow, but like, that's actually a ridiculously long amount of time in this game. Especially when like the first few worlds are like 4 minutes each. Then you suddenly get to World 18, it's like, no, you're going for at least 16 minutes now. It's like, oh, at least 12 minutes, probably 16 is the upper limit. World 18 hates me? Yes. I think World 18 knows it's a final boss and it wants to live up to that name. That's my guess. Because it's definitely a run killer. Like, I mean, I said, you can die to anything in this game, but there's a lot of spots in 18 that not only are just difficult, but get much worse with nerves. And I think that's what gets really dangerous at the end of a run. Like there's things at the beginning that are dangerous with nerves. Like I think 5-1 is dangerous with nerves, but you don't usually have nerves by then. Oh man, I'm just gonna miss everything, huh? I'm finding all of the 5-second time losses to try to do my best to make this close. But like you're not nervous as much on 5-1. Like I'll get nervous on 5-1 because I know it's hard. And especially if I've been resetting all day, then I'll be nervous because I want to get a run going. Not just for me, but for everyone watching. It's not, I think, as much fun. And bad Bowser RNG. This is just a terrible run now. It's more fun if I like actually make progress and I'm on good pace for longer than 5 worlds. But I'm not that nervous for it because it's not that much of a loss to go back and reset from there. Whereas you make a mistake in World 18, that's as much of a loss as you're going to get. Like, you really don't want to mess that up. I almost messed that up. I almost messed that up too! God, this room is terrifying. Oh well. Okay. Now we just hold right. I'm glad that this room exists as a buffer between the conveyor belt room, that's just an actual nightmare, and the pyramid room, which can also get out of hand really easily. Like, it's nice having that hold right room in there as buffer. Great. Oh, really? Okay, well, I jumped too early. I very, very rarely miss it by jumping too early. I almost always jump late instead. So that was fun. That was another time loss. Like, I'm not even kidding when I'm saying I'm finding every single 5-10 second time loss in this entire world right now. Like, I'm gonna have just a very slow... This is like really slow for World 18 with no deaths, but oh well. It's World 18. That's just how it's gonna go today, I guess. A case in point. Sorry. Oh, I missed your earlier messages. 18-3 is by far my least favorite level. Oh, in World 18. I was like, your least favorite overall? Because I still hate 6-3. Yeah. 18-3 just has so many different ways it can go wrong. Like most other levels, there's like one thing you're watching out for. It's like, oh, I need to pay attention to like this thing. Like the Wiggler level, for me, it's jumping off the conveyor belts. Like that's the biggest, most important jump in that level to get. And so as long as I get that one, yeah, things can go wrong, but I'm feeling a lot better about the rest of the level. Like, it should probably be fine. Whereas, are you gonna jump yet, dude? Oh, you're gonna do this on me. And then I didn't jump in time. Oh god, this is pretty bad. Seriously, was not kidding with all the time losses. There we go. Don't even say Shelmet, Juice. Don't even. Anyway, 18-3 just has so many things that can go wrong. So I was saying, like, the Wiggler level, I focus on the conveyor belts, right? 18-6, multiple things can go wrong, but I feel like as long as you get that first saw, you're set up for success pretty well. This one, you can get bad luck on the first Bowser, and you can, like, miss your shots on the second one. Like, not spam quickly enough and things. But, like, chances are low that you're gonna make those mistakes. Whereas there are multiple spots in 18-3 where I feel like I'm both reasonably likely to make a mistake, and that mistake will be very costly. So definitely a frustrating one late. I told you not to, Juice. I told you not to. Oh man. If I were on a bad pace, I would time you out as a joke, but I'm on too good of a pace to do that. And also I wouldn't actually time you out, because like, it's fair to point out that Shelmet would have been better in that scenario. That's like the perfect counterexample to I say it generally wouldn't save time. Like, it definitely would have saved time in that scenario, so. I also screwed up though. Usually you can get him after the first jump, just as long as you aren't paralyzed, and I messed up and was paralyzed because he hasn't messed with me in a long time, so was out of practice on my backup strat there, which is unfortunate. But hey, now I'll be slightly more in practice on that for next time. Angry face. I am invincible! Yes, for now. For now. And it helps that the auto-scroller that's coming up is one where I'm not taking my eyes off my 3DS either. Or like I might, but I'm not taking my hands away because it's an underwater one. You have to be paying attention. Alright, well there was 18-5. That was the last nice level. Gauntlet time! Like all of World 18 is a gauntlet, but this last set of 3 just really feels like the gauntlet because, yeah. I think it speaks for itself. Okay, hi Yoshi. Oh, I actually wanted to be with you right now, so let's go. Close. Okay. Here is the super fun twirl section that I absolutely love. See, it's like, it's actually super easy to twirl there. Like, you are so not at risk of anything. Like, you are fine with those twirls. I just get nervous on them because I have missed them because, like I said, twirls are one of my worst skills in this game. Like, there's levels that I'm bad at, levels that I'm good at, but out of, like, the mechanical parts of this game, twirls are one of my worst. I'm probably like on a sliding scale, better at P-switch jumps than I am at twirls in this game. In terms of like when you need them to be precise. I can twirl, my precision on them and my speed of twirl, like my twirl rate, if that's a metric that exists, is actually abysmal. Alright, I want this, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Hi, Thwumps. Just 16. Oh, sorry, I can't read it. I was gonna try to read it while doing the level, but I think I probably can't. Let me see. Does 18.6 make you hate Yoshi? A bit. I feel like that level, though, Yoshi's flutter is actually super useful. Oh wait, this is kind of like a bunny. This is the closest this game gets to the frog suit, because you just sort of hop along the bottom of the screen. Anyway, I feel like Yoshi's flutter comes in so clutch to make that level easier, because it lets you have so much more control over where you're going to land. Like if you do that level optimally, you do a lot less fluttering than I do, I think. And because Yoshi's tool is actually incredibly helpful in that case, I feel like I don't get mad at Yoshi in that level. I actually get mad at me, and I get mad at saw blades. Like I think in that level, I'm more mad at donut block mechanics than I am at Yoshi, because the saw blades with Yoshi turn into donut blocks, and I hate donut blocks. And so I think that's mostly what's going through my head when I'm looking at that one. And you could make the argument that Yoshi is the reason that they're donut blocks, but also I couldn't stand on them without Yoshi, so I do kind of owe him one for that level. Like, I'll give him that one. That is the level where I am the happiest with Yoshi, even though it is not my favorite Yoshi level, if that makes sense. Alright, loop-de-loop time. I was way further off to the left than I normally would be. I hope this still works. Good news, it still works. And I didn't even lose time to it. Let's go. That was an awkward setup, though. Alrighty. Time for the last level. It's a 3-minute level, so it's going to be cutting it really close to whether or not I can... Well, one, I have to play it well. Like, right away, we have to not die. And then I have to play pretty well if I want to have a chance at, like, getting a good time. That was redundant. The biggest question for me is I think I will go for the spring jump, but I'm going to be nervous about it, so we'll see what happens when we get there. We obviously have to get there first, though, and getting to it is not guaranteed. Unfortunately. This level used to be so nice. Like, it was such a nice end of the run sort of level, where it was mostly free, not too much could go wrong, you were probably okay. And then Juice came and optimized it, and now it is, oh come on, decidedly not free. And there's a lot more things that can go wrong in it, so definitely less relaxing than it used to be. Not that being on a good pace into World 18 or into 18.8 was ever a good thing, like, or ever a relaxing thing. It's always a good thing, but definitely got worse. Okay, where am I at? I want to do wall jumps this time. I got the wall jump! I'm actually incredibly bad at that right side wall jump in that specific room. Like, just that I messed up on. Okay, here we go. Oh, I missed the door. Let's freaking go! That is not a time save over world record, but it is a significant time save over my PB, so that feels good. Now, the real boss here, well actually there's a couple real bosses still to go. I have been tragically failing. Oh, shoot, I might die. That was close. That was really close. That was way more close than I wanted it to be. I have been tragically failing this triple jump quite often lately, so this could take like 5 tries. Are you kidding me? I got everything on that. Oh, come on. Told you. There goes all the time saved from the spring jump. What? Okay, I think I should have got it that time. 4th try. So not 5th, but still pretty slow. That's unfortunate. That could be the difference right there. All right. Not going for fast strat, by the way. I am not consistent enough to want to go for that in a run right now. So normally you can skip through that propeller, or sorry, through the saw with a damage boost. I am not going for that whatsoever. And I also messed up earlier today in practice, just for the record, and died to Bowser at the end of a practice run. Not a full run, just like an IL practice. And that could happen too. So the key thing is making sure I shoot this low enough that it takes out the bottom one. Oh, I barely missed world record. So that's it. That's the not being able to get the triple jump. I was really, really close. But that's still a PB for me, which is good because I haven't PB'd in quite some time in this game. And that brings me a lot closer to the world record. So just those small things. My world 18 was, was not clean. Like I made so many mistakes early on in that like they definitely added up to at least a death's worth of time. Actually, wait though. Did I not die at all? This might be the first ever deathless world record, or not deathless PB. It's not a world record. It would have been cool if it was a world record too, but this may have been the first ever deathless like sub 2 time even. Just deathless actual run basically. You can maybe do deathless with a lot slower strats, but actually though, I don't think I died. That's first deathless, and this is actually great for splits then, because I'll have time save at the end. I won't have random awkward time save in the middle, like, yo, wait a second. That's actually super pog. Oh, dang. Zach, I have no idea why you want that. I think that's weird. I'm not going to do it, but hope you're having a good day. Oh, dang. Okay, it really feels bad to miss, like, I don't know. Part of me feels really bad about missing the triple jump that many times, because if I had gotten any sooner than 4th try, I think that's world record. I think it's 3 seconds, so that was close. But to be fair, I also could have not messed around in 18-1. I could have not made the mistake in 18-3. Like, there were so many obvious moments in World 18 where I made crucial mistakes that, honestly, that's fair. That's fair. I'm not going to argue that, oh man, I should have had it. Like, I didn't. I made mistakes. I can clean that up. But I did get the spring jump though, so that's honestly exciting. Like, to get that in a PB attempt. That's my first PB with the spring jump. Honestly, with all the new strats I've been practicing, to get so many of them in a real run under pressure feels really good. So yeah, and first deathless honestly is exciting. Like, part of me is like, it would have been much cooler if it was world record, but honestly, first deathless in this game is still really solid. That means that I at least played consistently enough to not die. Does not mean there were not close calls. There were definitely lots of almost deaths, but I feel good about this, so yeah. Unfortunately, you just missed world record, but you're going to beat it soon. I don't know. This was definitely a solid run, but I'm feeling like it's more likely that I'll be able to do this again now that I've done it once, right? For a while, I was in kind of a slump where I honestly didn't feel like I was good at the game anymore. Like, I was. I still know how to play this game, but my no reset times were getting worse. I feel like I wasn't able to get runs off the ground, but today getting one solid run with 2 deaths through half the game and then getting obviously a full game PB with no deaths in it, I think I'm back. I think the practice has been paying off, so gonna keep practicing. This is not where I'm gonna end stream here, if anyone's curious. This will be the end of stream, but I'll be practicing a lot offline this week to clean up some of the areas that I missed. It looks like I need to focus on World 18, good to know. But yeah, feeling good about this. Mental blocks can suck for sure, yeah. And that's why one of the reasons I didn't stream last week is because I was feeling really down about this, and so I thought that trying to force myself to do attempts when I knew I was in a bad mental state wasn't going to work. And so I apologize for not being here last week, but that's the background as to why. Like, there was a lot of stuff going on. I also wasn't feeling well that day. I had other things I needed to get done, but part of it was I knew I wasn't going to be able to mentally show up, and that's not really where I want to be. So focus on the practice this week, got my fingers back into shape, and I think we're back. I think I can say that. We're back. I would like to get world record back before Frame Fatales happens, but of course, I know Juice has been going hard at this game recently too, so while currently I'm 3 seconds off of world record, I could be 30 seconds off of world record next week when I come back, depending on how his practices go, so we'll have to see. Oh, watch the 13-1 strat. Right, I said I was going to do that. Do you have the link handy? I think Ploxy posted it earlier, but I'm not sure if I'll find it. Can you post it in chat again real quick? And then if anyone wants to watch along, they'll be able to have the link too. Again, unfortunately, I don't think I can show it on stream because I don't have a setup right now that would let me share my screen. I usually have to like explicitly set something up for that to work, and I did not do that for today because I wasn't thinking I would have to show off a new thing. But what we'll do is I'll let you know that I pulled the video up. I would encourage anyone in chat to watch along. Again though, this will be the last thing I do on stream, so you don't have to stick around for this. Thank you for everyone who has been watching. Thanks for everyone who cheered me on for this one, because I need all the good luck I can get. Apparently I'll need a little bit more for next time, but yeah, always appreciate having people hanging out. So thank you so much. Hope you have a good rest of your day if that's where you drop off.